How did we, Homo sapiens, become the dominant species on this planet? What incredible journey, spanning millions of years, led from tree-climbing apes to the astronauts, artists, and engineers of today? Human evolution isn't just a dusty old topic from a textbook. It's the epic saga of our own origins, a story of survival, innovation, and adaptation that is written into our very DNA. It helps us understand not just where we came from, but why we are the way we are. So get ready, because today we're turning back the clock millions of years to trace our family tree. From the first steps of Australopithecus all the way to us, Homo sapiens. It's a journey you won't want to miss. Our story begins in Africa, around 4 million years ago, with a group called Australopithecus. Imagine a creature smaller than us, with a brain about the size of a chimpanzee's, but with one game-changing adaptation. They walked upright on 2 legs. This is bipedalism, and it was a massive leap forward. Walking on 2 feet freed up their hands to carry food and eventually to use tools. One of the most famous fossils ever found, nicknamed Lucy, was an Australopithecus afarensis. She gives us a stunningly clear picture of what these early ancestors were like. They weren't mighty hunters. They were primarily scavengers and gatherers, learning to survive on the vast open savannas of Africa. This new environment challenged them, pushed them, and ultimately set the stage for the next chapter in our evolution. Fast forward to about 2.4 million years ago, and we meet a new character on the scene, Homo habilis, which translates to handyman. And they certainly earned that name. Homo habilis was the first of our ancestors that we can definitively say made and used stone tools. These weren't complex weapons, but simple stone flakes, sharp enough to butcher carcasses left behind by larger predators or to break open bones for nutritious marrow. This was a monumental cognitive leap. It showed early problem-solving skills and the ability to plan ahead. Their brains were slightly larger than those of Australopithecus, and they likely lived in small, cooperative social groups. The ability to create a tool, no matter how simple, was the spark of ingenuity that would define the entire human lineage to come. Then, around 1.9 million years ago, a truly trailblazing species emerged, Homo erectus, the upright man. And they lived up to their name in more ways than one. Taller, stronger, and with a significantly larger brain, Homo erectus didn't just walk upright. They walked right out of Africa. They were the first hominins to migrate across continents, reaching parts of Asia and Europe. This incredible expansion was made possible by major innovations. They crafted more advanced tools, like the iconic Acheulean hand axe, a versatile teardrop-shaped tool that was the Swiss Army knife of its time. And perhaps most importantly, Homo erectus harnessed the power of fire. Fire provided warmth, protection from predators, a way to cook food making it easier to digest, and unlocking more nutrients, and it became a social hub. For the first time, our ancestors had a hearth to gather around, a place to share food, and maybe, just maybe, the first simple stories. Now, let's jump forward to a more familiar, yet often misunderstood, relative, the Neanderthals. Flourishing in Europe and Western Asia from about 400,000 to 40,000 years ago, Homo neanderthalensis were not the brutish cavemen of cartoons. They were incredibly well adapted to the harsh, cold climates of the Ice Age. Their bodies were shorter and stockier than ours, a build that's excellent for conserving heat. Their brains were, on average, even slightly larger than ours today. Neanderthals were sophisticated toolmakers, skilled hunters of large game like mammoths and woolly rhinos, and they had a rich cultural life. We found evidence that they deliberately buried their dead, sometimes with offerings like flowers, suggesting they had rituals and perhaps even a concept of an afterlife. For thousands of years, they coexisted with early Homo sapiens, and we now know from DNA evidence that our species not only met but also interbred. Many people of non-African descent today carry a small percentage of Neanderthal DNA in their genome. At around the same time as the Neanderthals, another mysterious group of ancient humans roamed Asia, the Denisovans. For a long time, we knew almost nothing about them. In fact, they were discovered not from a full skeleton, but from a tiny finger bone and a few teeth found in a cave in Siberia. But what that little bone revealed through DNA analysis was world-changing. It belonged to a distinct human population, separate from both Neanderthals and modern humans, though closely related. Like Neanderthals, Denisovans also interbred with Homo sapiens. Their genetic legacy is most prominent today in populations in Melanesia, Australia, and parts of Southeast Asia, contributing genes that may have helped modern humans adapt to new environments and diseases. The Denisovans are a powerful reminder of how complex our family tree really is, with many branches and interactions we are only just beginning to uncover. And that brings us to us. Homo sapiens, the wise humans. Anatomically modern humans first appeared in Africa around 300,000 years ago. While our early forms looked like us, the real revolution was in our minds. We developed complex language, abstract thought, and symbolism. This cognitive explosion led to an unprecedented wave of creativity and innovation. We created sophisticated tools from bone and stone. We painted breathtaking art on cave walls, and we crafted jewelry and musical instruments. Armed with this new level of ingenuity and social cooperation, Homo sapiens began their own great migration out of Africa around 70,000 years ago. As we spread across the globe, we encountered the other hominins like Neanderthals and Denisovans, sometimes interbreeding but ultimately replacing them. Our adaptability allowed us to thrive in every environment on Earth, from the frozen Arctic to the dense rainforests, setting the stage for the rise of civilization. So, what are the big takeaways from this incredible journey through time? First, human evolution is not a straight line. It's a complex branching tree with many dead ends and surprising connections. It's a story of gradual change, driven by adaptation to ever-shifting environments. Walking upright, using tools, controlling fire, developing language, each step was a response to a challenge, a new way to survive and thrive. Secondly, we are the product of millions of years of this process. The curiosity that drove Homo erectus to explore new lands, the social bonds that helped Neanderthals survive the Ice Age, and the creativity that sparked the first cave paintings, these traits are still very much a part of us today. Our deep-seated need for community, our ability to innovate, and our unquenchable desire to understand the world are all echoes of our ancient past. We are the inheritors of an epic story of survival. What a journey, right? From the first tentative steps on 2 feet to a species that can ponder its own existence. But the story of our evolution doesn't end here. How did our brains become so powerful? How did we develop the miracle of complex language? That's what we'll be diving into next time, as we explore the evolution of human intelligence and communication. I'd love to know, which of our ancient ancestors do you find the most fascinating? Was it the tool-making Homo habilis, the pioneering Homo erectus, or our complex cousins, the Neanderthals? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey through time, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next adventure into the past. Thanks for watching.